All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for tuning into class this afternoon. My name is Annie Fountain, and this is a 30-minute lunchtime yoga flow class. And this class is offered at the Boston Public Library. So, Hands to Heart Center provides free volunteer-led yoga classes to people throughout the greater Boston area who are dealing with trauma and poverty. And one of our partner sites is the Boston Public Library. So I've taught a few in-person classes at the central branch of the library, and I'm very excited to be partnering with Hands to Heart Center and the library to offer these free classes at home. So like I said, today's class is a 30-minute lunchtime yoga flow class. It's designed for everyone, so there are plenty of ways that you can customize the class or modify the class for however suits you today. And if you have it, a blanket or a block or something to use for just a little extra prop would be helpful, and maybe a towel as well. We'll be doing a little bit of work in the shoulder, the neck area to kind of stretch out some places that might be tense, whether you're working at home these days or out on the front lines. This practice is for you. So it'll be helpful to have something to sit on. So I have this folded up blanket, but you might sit on top of a block or a stack of books or anything you have around your house, a box or anything. This is just to help kind of prop you up. So we'll come to a pose called Virasana or Hero's Pose. So you can come sit on top of your blanket, block, whatever type of prop that you have, and kind of come to sit on your knees so that your shins are down on the ground behind you. And if this posture isn't working for you today, you can always take a simple cross-legged seat, or you could even sit on your couch or on a chair or anything else that feels better. And we'll just start to settle in here to become aware of the breath. So you can close your eyes or find a soft gaze out ahead of you. And allow your shoulders to fall down and away from your ears. Lift the crown of your head up to the ceiling. And we'll take a deep breath in all together. Inhale through your nose. And open mouth, exhale, release. Inhale through your nose. Fill your lungs up all the way. And open mouth, exhale, let it go. Take another deep breath in through your nose. And through the mouth, exhale, release, and soften. Now place your right fingertips or right palm on the floor beside you. And inhale, sweep your left arm up overhead. Start to stretch through your left side. And we'll stay here for a few breaths. Allow your shoulders to fall down and away from your ears. Maintain some space in the neck area. And lift up and out of your left rib cage. Stretch your left fingertips over. And root down through both of your sitting bones so that you can really open up and stretch through the left side. Breathe in. Breathe out. And then on your inhale, come back to center. We'll take the same thing to the left. Place your left fingertips on the floor and inhale to stretch your right arm up and over. And lift up and expand through the right side. So imagine that you could turn your right rib cage into an accordion as you stretch your fingertips as far over to the side wall as you can. And release your shoulders down. Breathe in. And breathe out. Inhale to come back through center. And stay here for your exhale. We'll find a few shoulder rolls here. As you breathe in, reach your shoulders up to your ears. And as you breathe out, let your shoulders fall down and away. Inhale to roll your shoulders forward up to your ears, and exhale down your back open. Inhale to roll forward, squeeze, and exhale, release, shoulders soften. And a few more the other direction. Inhale, roll your shoulders forward, and exhale, soften them down. Inhale to roll forward. Exhale, soften. And one more time, inhale forward. And exhale, release. And now this is where a strap or a towel or a t-shirt or something might be helpful. So bring your hands back behind your back, and you can interlace your palms so that behind your back your hands will look like this. And if that's not happening today, no problem at all. Just grab for your towel or your strap and use it to bring your hands behind you. So using the assistance of the prop here to help open up and broaden through your chest a little bit further. And as you breathe in, you might lift your gaze up to the ceiling. And allow your lower body to relax. So you're just feeling this stretch here in the front line of your chest. And keeping the shoulders away from the ears, remember to breathe. Inhale to lift up. And exhale, return your chin back to center. Keep the bind in your hands or around the towel. And then bring your hands over to the right side of your waist, kind of down by your hip. And point your right elbow to the side and allow your right ear to drop down to your right shoulder. And so just starting to feel this opening again through the left side of your neck, but keeping your shoulders soft. And without any tension or any pressure, just give your right ear permission to drop down to your right shoulder. We'll stay for one more breath in. And a breath out. And then slowly return your chin back to center and just pause here for a moment and notice if there's a difference in the right side of your neck versus the left side. And then swing your hands back behind you, bring your wrists over to your left side waist, and just allow your left ear to gently fall down towards your left shoulder. And start to feel this stretch through the right side of your neck. And relax both shoulders down so that your left ear just falls to your left shoulder without any effort, without any tension. And keep your legs soft. Sit up nice and tall. And on your next breath in, take your time, release, come back to center. Let go of the grip in your hands. And maybe just a shoulder roll or two to kind of shake it out. And then if you had a towel or you were sitting up on a prop, you can release those, let them go. And we'll come into tabletop pose. Bring your hips in line with your knees, your shoulders in line with your wrists. And start to find a few cat-cows as you breathe in. Drop your belly down, lift your gaze to the ceiling. And as you breathe out, round and curl your spine, open your shoulders at the top. Inhale, open up, your heart lifts, tailbone high. Exhale, round and curl, arch your back. Now start to find a few more cat-cows here, just on your own breath, your own pace. So rather than my voice being your guide, can you just tune in with what your own body needs? And let your breath channel each movement. And we'll take one more full round. Inhale for cow pose, open. Exhale for cat pose, round and curl. And then come back to a neutral tabletop on your hands and knees. Bring your big toes to touch behind you. Open your knees wide. Send your hips back for extended child's pose. Soften your forehead to the ground. Reach your fingertips forward. And you'll stay here for a couple of breaths. Maybe massaging your forehead into the mat, reaching your fingers forward to feel a sense of length or maybe a deeper stretch in your arms. And if child's pose does not feel good for you, you can just lay down on your belly. Or if you're pregnant, take this on your back. You can just lie down on your back. And pause here in your child's pose or whatever variation you chose for this afternoon to just take a few deep breaths. And know that you can always come back to child's pose or an easy seat or any other resting posture that you like. And if you're ready from your child's pose, come back up to tabletop, hips in line with your knees, shoulders in line with your wrists. Inhale to tuck your toes underneath you. Exhale for downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and then back. And as you come into your first down dog, maybe start to pedal out your feet here, bending into one knee, into the other. Downward facing dog, your knees can always be bent. Your heels don't have to touch the floor. And root down through your thumb and your forefinger. And as you breathe in, look forward to the top of your mat. As you breathe out, tiptoe your feet behind your hands. Keep them hips width apart, coming into a forward fold. And again, you can have a generous bend in your knees here. Work to connect your chest with the tops of your legs. And shift your weight slightly forward into the bottoms of your feet so that your heels are still grounded on the mat, but your hips are right in line with your heels. You might sway here from side to side, or maybe interlace your hands behind your head. Give yourself a little neck massage. And then as you're ready, release your fingertips to the mat. And slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, rise all the way up to stand. You can take your time, there's no rush. And as you stand up, your feet can be hips width apart or your feet can be touching, whatever feels more comfortable for you. I tend to find that it feels better in my low back if my feet are about hips width distance apart. So you'll come up to stand, reach your shoulders up to your ears, then roll them down your back. Touch your palms together at heart center. Take a deep breath in through your nose, fill all the way up. And a cleansing breath out, release. Now interlace your hands in front of you and then flip your palms forward and down and reach them all the way up to the ceiling for a full body stretch. And breathe in. And then on your exhale, stretch over to the right. And you can keep the grip in your hands or you can let it go. And then inhale to come back through center. And exhale, stretch over to the left. And find a few more of these here, all on your own. So coming through center, then over to the right, through center, and over to the left. Maybe finding a mini standing cat-cow, so rolling through the spine, and then opening up. So again, just noticing what your body needs this afternoon, right? Every time we come to our mats, we're carrying something different with us. And then slowly release your hands down. And as you breathe in, reach your arms all the way up to the ceiling. And on your breath out, come into a chair pose variation. So bend your knee, bend your hips back, sweep your arms back behind you like wings. And again, in your chair pose, your feet can be together or apart. But start to root down through your heels so that you can see your big toes in front of you, or maybe wiggle them up and away from the mat. And then lift your palms up, squeeze your triceps back. Start to feel this opening in the front line of your chest, maybe a little strengthening in the triceps or the back line of the body. And then breathe in, let it go, straighten your legs, burst your arms open, find a small back bend at the top, and hold here for a breath or two. So in your back bend again, your hips are right in line with your heels. Find a slight engagement of your core to protect your lower back. And squeeze your shoulders back behind you. Use them to make this little shelf for your heart. And then as you breathe in, reach all the way back up. And exhale to fold forward and down. On your next inhale, lift up halfway. Squeeze your shoulders together. Rest your palms on your shins or on your thighs and breathe here. And again, your knees can be bent here. Keep your hips in line with your heels. Parallel your chest with the mat and then squeeze your elbows behind you. Inhale. Exhale, plant your palms. Step your feet back, coming into a high plank or tabletop with your knees on the ground. And then start to lower all the way down onto the mat. Pin your elbows in by your side ribs. And then once you come to lay down, extend your legs out long in front of you. Bring your arms by your sides, tent up onto your fingertips. And as you inhale, lift up through your chest and shoulders, keeping your hip bones, your legs on the mat. And then on your exhale, dip your right shoulder down, gaze underneath your left elbow. Inhale to come back through center. Exhale, other side, dip your left shoulder down, gaze underneath the right elbow. Inhale, lift through center. Exhale, dip your right shoulder, look underneath the left. Inhale through center. Exhale, dip your left shoulder, look underneath your right. And inhale back through center. Maybe go a little taller if that feels okay. And then exhale, release gently with control, touch your forehead down to the floor. Inhale up through tabletop, come back to your hands and knees. And exhale to downward facing dog, extend your hips up and back. And know that at any point, instead of taking a down dog, you can always take tabletop. And we'll flow through that last little bit a couple of times. Inhale to look forward to the top of your mat. Exhale, walk your feet behind your hands, coming into a forward fold with bent knees. Inhale to lift up halfway, shoulders squeeze behind you. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, rise all the way up, extend your arms to the ceiling. Exhale, chair pose variation, bend your knees, send your hips back, sweep your arms behind you. Inhale for a small back bend, straighten your legs, open your chest, lift up. Exhale, fold forward, hands to your heart, hinge at your hips. Inhale, lift up halfway, flat back, long spine. Exhale back to tabletop or plank if you like. Come down to your hands and knees. This time, shift forward. Bend your elbows, lower all the way down to the mat once again. And inhale for baby cobra. Lift your chest up and away from the mat. Your palms are down or maybe lifted here. Either way, your hands are soft. Lengthen your toes back behind you. Lift up through the crown of your head. Breathe in. And exhale, release, forehead down. Now inhale, back up through tabletop, hands and knees. And exhale to downward facing dog. Send your hips up and back. Inhale, send your gaze to the top of your mat. Exhale, walk forward, feet behind your hands. Inhale to lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, rise all the way up, full body stretch, reach to the ceiling. Exhale, chair pose variation, bend your knees, sweep your arms back. Inhale for a little back bend, straighten your legs, open your chest. Exhale, fold forward and down, palms touch, knees are soft. Inhale, lift up halfway, long spine. Exhale, back down to tabletop or plank. An option here for a chaturanga. If you would like to take the chaturanga, bend your elbows to 90 degrees as you shift forward. And then as you breathe in, upward facing dog, lift your knees away from the mat, pull your chest forward. An option here for Cobra or those shoulder stretches like we did earlier. And then exhale to downward facing dog, lift your hips up and back. And we'll stay right here for a full breath in and a long breath out. As you breathe in, reach your right leg up to the ceiling and hold here. An option to bend your knee, open up through your hip, maybe finding some circles here. And you can always take this from tabletop too with your left knee on the floor. One more breath in, right leg straight back. And exhale, hinge forward, place your right foot in between your hands. And it may take you a few steps to get there, that's totally fine. And root your right foot down into the floor. Look back towards your left foot. And then step your left foot in and rise up for warrior one. And as you come up into your warrior one, you can take a few breaths here. You may shorten or widen your stance a little bit. Root down through your left heel. Turn the inner edge of root down through your right heel, and then turn the inner edge of your left pant leg up to the ceiling. Draw your tailbone down towards the floor. Breathe in. And on your exhale, interlace your hands behind you once again, coming back to this grip from the very beginning. And again, if you have a towel or a strap or something with you to help with that expansion, you can take that here. So press your right heel down and then find a slight back bend opening in your chest. Breathe in. And exhale for humble warrior. Keep your legs as they are. Just hinge your chest forward and snuggle your right shoulder in by your right knee. And if it feels okay, you can drop your head down. Just let your neck relax. And know that at any point you can ditch the grip in your hands, release the strap or the interlace. And look back towards the arch of your left foot. Can you start to lift it up to press evenly down through both legs? And then inhale, slowly rise up. Release the strap or the towel or the grip if you have it, coming back to warrior one. And exhale, warrior two. Keep your front knee bent. Readjust the placement of your feet. So right foot is still, this time your left foot is parallel to the back edge of your mat, your pinky toe, and keep your shoulders centered over your hips. Option to have your arms out wide or option to touch. Stay for one more breath in. Stay for your breath out. And inhale to reverse triangle. Straighten your front leg. Pull your left arm down. Reach your right arm high. And again, shoulders are soft, opening through the right side waist. Breathe in. And exhale, hinge forward, coming back to your low lunge. Frame your front foot with your hands, or you can stack your hands on top of blocks or books or anything else you might have. And press your left palm down or tent up onto your fingertips and inhale for a twist. Reach your right arm to the ceiling, squeeze your shoulders together. An option to come back down onto your left knee. Turn your left rib cage underneath you, broaden through your collarbones. Breathe in. And exhale, touch your right fingertips back down to the floor. If your left knee came down, you can lift it up and extend your right leg back to downward facing dog. And know that it may take a few breaths to get there. You can come through tabletop. And when you're ready, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Take a big breath in and a long breath out. Inhale to extend your left leg high. Exhale, low lunge, hinge forward. Step your left foot in between your hands. And again, if it takes a few steps to get there, totally fine. Look down towards your right foot and see where your right toes are. Step your right heel in to replace your right toes, and then rise up to warrior one. So that foot placement may be kind of exactly where you want your feet to be, or it may be a little bit off. But either way, just start to settle into your warrior one as you come up. Drop your tailbone down to the floor. Reach your arms to the ceiling. Breathe in. And then on your exhale, reach your hands back, interlace your palms behind you. Or again, find your towel, your strap, whatever you're using. And inhale to open up through your chest and shoulders. Exhale for humble warrior, hinge forward. Continue to press down through your back foot as you snuggle your left shoulder to your left knee. And notice if you can lift up through the arch of your right foot, but press down through your left heel so that both legs are strong. Peeling the left hip crease back, softening the muscles of the face. And on your breath in, slowly rise all the way up. You can release any props if you have them. Coming back to warrior one. And exhale, warrior two. Open your arms wide, readjust the placement of your feet so that your left heel lines up with the arch of your right foot. And you can gaze over your left hand, or you can bring your palms to your heart. So again, you get to choose how you want to access this pose today based on how you're feeling and what your own body needs. And then on your breath in, give your left leg a break, straighten it out, extend your left arm high, inhale, and exhale, low lunge, place your palms on the mat around your left foot. And again, if you're using any props, you may place them underneath your right hand. Inhale for a twist, squeeze your shoulders as you lift your left arm up to the ceiling. And you can keep your back knee lifted or drop it down onto the floor. Turn your right rib cage underneath you. Press the back of your left palm behind you. Inhale. And exhale, release. Touch your left fingertips back to the floor. And if you would like, you can re-engage your back knee, press back to downward facing dog, or you can come to a tabletop pose. And wherever you are, take a breath in. Then come down to a seat. Touch your knees down to the floor. And then take a seat right here. And start to plant the soles of your feet on the mat. And slowly, with control, lower all the way down to the floor. And if you have a blanket or a block or books or whatever your prop is, just start to lower all the way down. And we'll come into bridge pose. So place the soles of your feet on the mat and adjust the placement of your feet so that you can almost touch your heels with your fingertips, or maybe you can touch your heels with your fingertips. And root your heels down. Inhale for bridge pose. Squeeze your glutes to lift your hips up. Now, option here, if you have some sort of prop, to place it right underneath your sacrum so that you can still access this back bend, but it's just a little bit gentler, a little bit more supportive. And just start to soften your shoulders down into the mat. Gaze softly up towards the ceiling. And just allow yourself to breathe. You can stay right here in your bridge pose, or if you would like, you can come into supported legs up the wall. So for that, just lift your legs up to the ceiling and just kind of let them hang out right here. And so allow just all of the tension that may come into your legs from sitting all day or standing all day to drain out of your legs. And this is a great pose that you can do maybe at the end of the day as well. It can help the body kind of reset and get ready for sleep. And if you would like to stay here for the rest of our time together, absolutely, please stay. Or if you're ready to start setting up for Shavasana, just slowly, gently bring a bend back into your knees and allow the soles of your feet to come back down to the floor. And with as little effort as possible, lift your hips up and away from the mat so that you can slide the prop out from underneath you. And lower your hips back down. And then start to set up for your final resting pose. Let your legs go long in front of you. Bring your arms down by your sides. Or if there's any other posture that you would like to take here, maybe staying in legs up the wall or an easy seated position, please find that. Just give yourself permission to relax, to breathe, to take this time for yourself in the middle of the day. Know that if you need some extra time in your Shavasana, please take it. Please stay for as long as you like. But if it's time for you to move on with the rest of your day, just start to gently welcome some small movements into your fingers and your toes, rolling out through your wrists and your ankles. Reach your arms up and overhead. Take a nice long body stretch. And then however you would like to get there, press up to a seated position. So maybe you roll over onto one side, maybe you press straight up. But whichever option you choose, just take it nice and gently with a sense of care. And we'll all meet in a comfortable seated position. Take another deep breath in through your nose. Cleansing breath out, release. Bring your palms together to touch at your heart. And then thumbs up to your forehead. In gratitude, Namaste. Thank you again for everyone who's tuned in today. Thank you for taking this time to support the Boston Public Library and Hands to Heart Center. And I will see you next Tuesday. Thank you so much.